Hey everybody, welcome to Bobby Builds It. Today we're going to be making some Christmas decorations out of our favorite, wait a minute, we're not using that. Today we're going to use some pine. It's all nice and milled up already. We don't even have to do that. So we're just going to go straight over to the miter saw. We got a piece of 1x8 premium pine from the big box stores. I looked to use some of the just white pine or whiteboard SPF stuff. It was all trash. So I went with this one. There's not a whole lot of measurements you got to do here. So set the saw at 22.5 degrees. Set your board where you're just going to clip the corner. And you're ready to make your first cut. I managed to not record that. I've only got the one board, but that's what your first piece coming off looks at. Just set that to the side. There might be a use for that later. Next, flip the board over and set it up so it's hitting at the corner again. Just like that. And just repeat this all the way down, flipping the board over, lining it up with that corner. Right now, we're getting to where this is just too close to put my fingers. So, since I know this is the right width, I'm going to get one that I've already cut. Put it there. Raise this up a little bit. Tighten that back down. Make sure the board's where you want it. Clamp it down the rest of the way. I gotta adjust back here. Much safer that way. And I think we can get one more. All right, there you have it. Real time cutting all these out. And that's the end of the big saw. Got all the triangles cut out. Ended up with 14 of them, which is good because I've already busted one trying to practice doing something else. But let me show you how I figured out where the holes are going to go. So all I did was I got my various size of hole saws. I've got a 2-inch, 2 1/8, and 2 1/4. I knew I wanted a larger hole down here, so I just went with 2 1/4 and just sort of put it where I thought would look good and trace the outside, put a mark for the center. And then when I figured out where the center was, and I just measured it over then transferred the measurement over to the board. So on the upper one, I started out with 2 1/8. I got my measurements. I'm also going to cut one that's at 2 inches just to see how it looks. I'm just going to transfer the measurements I came up with over here. Decided 1.5 inches over. An 1 3/4 up. Then I'll just put my mark right there. That'll be the center for the lower hole. For the other side, I decided to come in 2 1/4 inches. Pull this line up. See how far I wanted to come in. Went to the top corner, came down 2 1/2 inches, and just drew the line over till it crossed. First hole, we're going to cut with the 2 1/4 inch hole saw. There's 2 ways to do it. You can just go straight through, but might be some tear out, or you can go part of the way through and flip it over and use the pilot hole on the other side. To finish, we're going to do both, see which one looks better. Now the other way. Try to get this piece out without mangling it too much, because you're going to want it later. Take a look at the results. This is the first way. I went straight through. A little bit of extra material right there to sand off. Not too bad. And that's pretty even. This is the one where I stopped halfway through. There is a lip of stuff there that has to get sanded off. Of course, corresponds right in there. I think I'm just going to cut all the way through to start with. This is hard to see, but the bottom of this came out to about 5 7/8. So you could find half of that and painstakingly measure it out and measure every one of your boards to make sure they're all the same. Or you can get your square, bisect this top corner right up here. And make your mark. And that's how I'm going to find the center. So it's a little bit off up there. I can live with that. Then I decided to go up 2 1/4 inches. And I'm going to get the 2 1/4 inch hole saw and drill a hole right there in the middle. Battery died. And here's the two styles, and this has this hole at 2 1/8 inch and just 2-inch. There's not a whole lot of difference I can see there. Next, we just got to get them sanded up. We're almost to everybody's favorite part, sanding. But before we do that, I'm going to take advantage of these marks that I have, especially for this one, the center cut. We're going to use the piece that came out as the base. And don't really have to do this, but I'm gonna use dowels and glue to hold it in. I'm going to use this nice self-centering dowel jig here. And you can see I'm going to use a 1/4 inch dowel. There's a line just right there. You line that up with the mark for your center. Make sure I get the right one. Tighten it down. And now your hole will be in the center. Just like that. Through the magic of YouTubes, we're done sanding. Now we're going to put the bases on. This is the center cut one there, one hole. Get some glue down in the hole for the dowel. And then use the squeeze out to our advantage. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on it for just a little bit. Wipe off that extra. And we'll let that rest. We're going to call these semi-done. Probably need some more sanding, another coat of stain. I used this kind of stain for it. There's no affiliation or anything. It's just when the store bought. There's all kind of colors for it if you were curious. One more thing I would have done, aside from putting poly on after the stain. I don't have the Forstner bit to do it, but this one, the idea is you put one of these LED candles on. So figure out what size of candle you've got, or whenever you buy them, and drill 1/8 of an inch or so down with the Forstner bit. Then it's got a little lip to help hold the candle in, and there you have it. The very last step is going to be just to string you some ornaments through the holes that we drilled there. But this one pretty easy, and you can batch a bunch of these out pretty quickly. It's December 19th right now. Hopefully I can get this video posted by the 21st. I'll still give you a couple of days and knock out a bunch of them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.